deux pelotons des As, alors que les deux fugitifs se lancent dans la descente vertigineuse en direction de Val d'Isère et de Tignes.
The Liseron, this is the big one here. It was all around this area in February where the Winter Olympics were held and based in Albertville. And it wasn't the time to come and look at this mountain because it was covered in snow. But just look at the pace now by the man in the polka dot jersey. He's placed the yellow jersey in serious problems here. Pascal Lino is a long way back further down the Col de Liseron. Claudio Chiappucci has not waited for the last climbs of the stage to put in an attack. He's gone right at the beginning. He's done this before in previous Tours de France. It must be causing consternation amongst the leaders. And this is the best of the rest, as it were, as they're trying to reform behind. Greg LeMond is in this group. He's in trouble on the Col de Liseron. Greg LeMond struggling a little bit in that group. Let's go further forward of Greg LeMond's group because here's Miguel Indurain. Look at the difference in tempo now. Miguel Indurain, the centre of our picture, riding very solidly indeed. It's Alonso who's riding on Indurain's right. Robert Miller, his jersey unzipped all the way down, also setting the tempo. Le Mans in desperate trouble again, just as he was in the Pyrenees 1 year ago. Le Mans is going backwards today, and backwards very quickly indeed. And that is a sad sight. I think Greg secretly, has been worried about these mountains coming each day. He's tried throughout this Tour de France to gain time on the flatter stages, to give himself a better springboard into the Alps, and it hasn't come. And this is the rider who is destroying Greg LeMond today. Claudio Chiappucci, second in the Tour de France last year, second for the last 2 years in the Tour of Italy. He's attacked virtually at the drop of the flag today, and now he's tapping out the rhythm all by himself. The breakaway, he is shredded on this climb of the Iseron. This great mountain which brings the riders up to 2,770 metres, and it's being climbed today for only the sixth time in history. We haven't been up the Col d'Iseron since 1963. That means none of the current generation of professional bike riders have ever raced up this mountain in the Tour de France. And just look at this over the top of the climb. There comes Alex Zula. And already he's slower than Miguel Indurain and approaching the time of Bourg-Saint-Maurice. He slots in second place behind Big Mig at the 15.7 kilometre check. So perhaps Indurain has recovered overnight. He said his tour wasn't over at his press conference. Laurent Jalabert, though, well, maybe his tour is. Look at these times for Jalabert. If he really did have thoughts on a yellow jersey in Paris, they're fading fast now. Only 14th, 57 minutes and 49 seconds at the finish for Jalabert. Out on the course, they're all through the first check. Berzin, the leader, has got the best time. That's what he would want. 16 seconds to Ulrich and Olano. 18 seconds in third. Rominger is fourth. That's at the check at 9.3 kilometres. That's the easy bit of the course. Tony Rominger there. Now back towards the finish here as Miguel Indurain is faced a picture of pain, trying to prove to himself above all that he is coming back into the frame. He's going to be fastest when he reaches the line. He has made good time over Bourg-Saint-Maurice over this serious part of the climb. Interval is best time for Indurain of 52.54, almost 1.5 minutes quicker than Bourg-Saint-Maurice. Sweeping up, out on the course, Evgeny Berzin, the man in yellow. Look at the crowd here. It has been freezing cold standing on the slopes of this mountain today, yet all of these people have waited to catch a glimpse of the new maillot jaune of the Tour. Evgeny Berzin, just 30.5 kilometres, but what a painful run it is. Jan Ullrich now, 25 seconds off the lead. And this is a rider who is turning in one of the big surprises of the Tour. He has stayed well to the line. He is just going to be slower than Indurain. His time as he comes up to the line, now arriving Luttenberger, who's already come in. He's got second. Ulrich is now second. Indurain is still the leader. Ulrich down by only 6 seconds on Miguel Indurain. Bjorn Riis. Well, Rees might have a problem on his hands, and he may not realise it, coming from his own teammate Jan Ulrich, who has turned in such a great time trial. Now, what about Rees? He's also approaching the time of Indurain. This looks like it might be a great start for Rees. He is going to take a lot of encouragement from the fact that Indurain dropped yesterday, and now Bjarne Rees is in. His time is 52.28. He is 26 better. 20 Berzin, the only man left to finish here. Is he going to take it out with the best possible answer? The Maillot Jaune winning at the time trial stage of the Tour de France. And that will take him on into the mountains tomorrow, the first really big, hard climbs of this tour. They're all waiting literally over the hill here. As Berzin comes to the line, it's going to be the best time, and it's going to be... They might yet shut this down and finish as a group. There won't be big gains now, but Contador says, I'm going to go. This guy is so classy.
Well, this is amazing. I've got a funny feeling that he may well have had a mechanical incident. I saw a car stopped, and he's got a different wheel in at the back there, so he probably have had a mechanical incident.
But
he's going to try and ride himself back up.
How did he get back so fast? Maybe he's running on adrenaline and gone straight through the group. They couldn't counter his move. Arroyo could well be picked up by Alberto Contador here. There he is now, riding like a train.
Well, this man is a superb climber. You know, I'm absolutely certain that he had in the gallery there underneath the protective part of the course, he had a mechanical incident, and he changed his wheel very quickly with a neutral service vehicle, and he wants to ride himself back into this race.
Well, this is a free-for-all. It's not the end of the Tour de France today. This is only the end of the second day in the Alps. There's still an awful long way to go to Paris, but you can see how these riders go now. This is a move, and this is Carlos Sastre trying to put matters to right. Desperate moment in the Tour de France, this.
Well, Vinokourov has got difficulties now, Phil. He can't stay on the wheel of this acceleration, and finally Alexander Vinokourov is showing us that he is slightly injured. He's having a chat there on the radio, and he's trying to find his last little bit of rhythm.
Well, we're looking down on the lake there as we now continue this little final climb. They're dancing on the pedals here of Alberto Contador, but he's being joined here. That looks like Sastre's got through to him.
And just behind is Denny Menchov as well. And now, Phil, for the man who has left this race, he went on the first big categories climb of the Cormet de Roselon, and he's been going ever since.
135 kilometres he's been at or near the front of the race today, most of it in the last hour or so on his own. Rasmussen now is approaching the finish. We've gone back to Mayo as the flags of Norway fly here.
Well, Cadel Evans was just behind there trying to make a move. He sat in the slipstream of Christophe Moreau for an awful long time, but he sees this as a chance to pull himself back a fraction of time as well. Little further back, though, Alexander Vinokourov is riding his own solitary effort, trying to keep in touch in the Tour de France here this afternoon. It's a very difficult ride for that man who's got stitches in his knees and his elbows, but as long as he doesn't lose too much time this afternoon, he will move well up into the top 10 in this race and still be the chance of a winner at the end of the Tour.
400 metres to go for Michael Rasmussen, then the clock will start. And I think he's going to have yellow as well. This has been like he did a year ago at La Toussuire. It's going to be even sweeter because a Maillot Jaune will await. It has been a ride and a half today, and Denmark have found once more a superstar of cycling. He's riding his fourth Tour de France. He's never worn a leader's jersey other than a King of the Mountains. Well, now he's going to lead in both competitions because I think the clock later on will confirm he's in yellow as well as the King. This has been a ride, and he will skirt the race out of their pants today. Tomorrow's a rest day, and he deserves it more than anybody else.
force d'Egan Bernal qui a ramené tout le monde sur l'échappée, qui a ramené tout le peloton des favoris, tout seul, car il n'avait plus de coéquipier depuis la première montée. Il a ramené tout le monde et il est encore là devant et c'est lui qui fait ce qu'il veut. Il fait ce qu'il veut, le Colombien. C'est les 100 derniers mètres et c'est le sprint désormais qui va se jouer entre le Belge Björn Lambrecht et Egan Bernal qui fait le sprint. Le coureur colombien, il ne veut rien lâcher et il va réussir à s'imposer. C'est un coureur exceptionnel.
L'étape va être arrêtée. L'étape va être arrêtée. Why they have taken this decision?
À moins de 10 km de l'arrivée, la donne commence à être limpide. O'Connor file vers la victoire d'étape, mais l'Australien, pour le maillot jaune, risque d'être un peu court car Ineos Grenadier emmène le groupe maillot jaune à présent en vue d'une attaque de carapace dans le final.
Tadej Pogacar qui va asseoir un peu plus sa domination sur le Tour de France.
Uran qui sort derrière avec Kelderman.
Le coureur australien est pour la formation de Vincent Lavenu. C'est la 20e victoire pour l'équipe de Vincent Lavenu sur le Tour de France. Elle est signée Ben O'Connor à Tignes.